On July 8th, 2011, yeah, almost 8 years ago, yes, my wife abducted my sons, and they've been kidnapped ever since, yes. And you've completely disregarded all of the requirements of the law. Now, as I mentioned, without a signature of the petitioner on the protection order, yes, I do not have the availability of making sure that signature, yes, is the same person that appeared in court on July 31st of 2015. Now, there is a special circumstance where somebody has just been involved in some sort of domestic violence, Jack. But other than that, you have to appear in court and you have to sign this, yes, so that when I subpoena you for all the evidence, and I sue you for not requiring a signature, I will sue you because there's no way for me to know who it was that filled all this out, why it is you used a forgery, yes, and who it was that filled this out. Because this signature has to match that signature. Oh, now it's going to be one of those class actions where you said, oh my gosh. Now, this idea of keeping things confidential, yes, as in witness protection. Oh, why don't you find out where my wife lives? Because my sons have been in the newspaper for the last 2.5 years. Your bullshit about witness protection. Now, you misspelled my last name, Budnek. You changed my driver's license without my knowledge. You allege that I committed multiple crimes, once in Swim, Washington. Yes. Well, once at Homeland Security, or is that Healthy Families of Clallam County in May of 2012? Yes. And then there was another crime that allegedly I was in Jefferson County on June 16th of 2017, and I was cyber stalking. So why don't you give me every email that I emailed to all the field offices of Homeland Security where I documented in RI.PDF that there's a forgery there. Yes, there is no signature of the petitioner, right, and there is no due process to myself. Ooch. Now, every time that you put that driver's license number in one of these forms, yes, I'm going to want to know when it was that you changed my mailing address. And how Mike Van Proyn is involved because I want Mike in prison. Do you understand? Now, I'd like to speak to Marilyn about where she'd like to live. Yes. And then I'd like to get the first name, middle, last name, and their actual sex, their race, their birth date, and they reside with, and the minor's relationship to the protected person and the restrained person. Now, the victim's household members or adult children protected? Yes. Now, confidential information form. Ooh, Clallam County case number. Yes. The court clerk. This is a restricted access document. The health, safety, or liberty of a party or child will be jeopardized by the disclosure of address information because. Now, you've issued this for 8 years. Probably I could have found the address in the last 3.5 years. But when you issued the last one, Brent, yes, on July 31st of 2015, you served me in the Squim Public Library by an individual that wasn't a sheriff. Yes. And then you served somebody other than myself. Now, how does somebody other than the respondent receive service of the actual protection order? Oh, you mean that look-alike dog that you were paying to commit all those crimes? Ouch. To have me put in a mental institution, obligating me to the last 2.5 years of court appearances. Yes. So that you could say that I was crazy, schizophrenic, and bipolar, persecutory, delusional. Now, the following information about the parties is required in all cases. Yes. Use the addendum to the confidential information form to list additional parties or children. Yeah. Now, this would be the petitioner's driver's license number. Did somebody change the address on her driver's license? Oh, without her knowledge, or did you just do that to me? And then there's, oh, myself as the respondent. Budnick, Paul, C. Yes. Race is white, sex is male. My birth date 7/13 to 1970. Yes. Exactly when did you change the information on the driver's license? Because every time it appears on one of these court forms, yes, I'm going to sue you. Yes, for changing any of the information because more than likely, mooch, some other system goes through and looks for driver's license numbers. Yeah. Now we could get the numbers of all the driver's licenses. Oh, couldn't we, state of Washington? Why don't we throw every driver's license number in every document that Homeland Security has, ooch, that the FBI has, yes, and that every county, state government has right now? Because I'll tell you, it seemed that you did not want to respond to the falsification of the information of my driver's license, and for some reason you don't have a problem of me being a victim of identity theft. Now, the following information required if there are children involved in the proceeding. Now, the child's present whereabouts. Yes, Now, somebody filled all this out. Yes, except for petitions in protection order cases, domestic violence, any arrest, following information. Now, this is an exception to the rule. Yes, but it still requires. Nope, it doesn't require. See, there must be something about being married. Yes, and then not being married. Now, non-parental custody petitions also list adults. Ouch. And then, oh, there it is again. Petitioner, respondent. Yes, I certify on a penalty of perjury in the laws of the state of Washington that the above information is true and correct. Accurate concerning myself and is accurate to the best of my knowledge as the other party or is unavailable. Then it was signed on a certain day. Yes. And it was signed in Squim, Washington. Ouch. And the petitioner signed it or she didn't sign it because there's no signature of the protected person here. No, there's no signature of the petitioner. No, exactly who signed all these forms?